Hello, everybody. Tiffany Solorio here. I am so glad you are joining me. Let me switch over to the comments instead of the private chat. I hope you all have enjoyed my class. We did some gel printing and we did these cards here or something similar. So if you haven't watched my class yet, you should have gotten an email and you can go ahead and check that out. It's really fun, and you can get some cool backgrounds using some inks and your gel plate. So, if we have a question, thank you, Ardith. Can we just get some hearts for Ardith in the chat? We love Ardith. She's amazing. All right. Hello, Nicole. Hi, Tiffany. I didn't have any foundry wax, but I fixed it with some lunar paste with water, just a little bit for the smaller dots and some more for with the bigger spots. Sorry, I'm probably not reading that correctly. That's a great suggestion. Use what you have. Some people have used gold acrylic paint. Use what you have on hand. You know, like I said in my presentation, I really want you guys to try and look at your stash a little bit differently. I don't use a lot of typical holiday themed supplies. So just look at your stash and see what you got. If you're not a gold person, don't use gold. All right. Hello, Nina. Oh, I have a cousin named Nina. Could you use a silicone mat for this technique if you don't have a gel plate? Um, Not really. I have um, done and seen a technique using the back of a large clear stamp before. Of course, it's not going to give you the same result, but you can get a similar result. And if it's all you have, then I would suggest using that and then seeing if you even like it, because some people don't even like gel printing. So I hope that helps. All right. Jessica M, hello. Your cards were stunning. I'll be going back to it often. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica. I really appreciate it. Hi, Helen. Uh, Hi, Tiffany. Loved your video. I purchased a gel plate on Friday. I only have Stampin' Up! Dye inks. Can I use them on a gel plate? Yes. So I often like to use Catherine Puller inks, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ardith, but I'm sure they are dye inks. Yes, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. But you can use any types of inks. And honestly, people were amazed that I used distress inks. I think maybe it was a combination of the really good paper um, plus the inks together and then adding a little bit of water. Because a lot of times when you use distress inks and then maybe like a cheaper paper, you get really splotchy and not like smooth print, if that makes sense. So I think the paper in this sense, because we're adding a lot of water and splotches and everything like that, I used distress heavy stock. So that's important for this technique. Hello, Pamela. Thank you for your question. What is the difference between distress ink and distress oxide? Where do the sprays fit into the family? um, the distress inks are pigment. My brain is working correctly. And oxides are pigment and dye. And they're just how do I explain it? Maybe someone in the chat can help me explain it a little bit better. I'm not very like technical. I just use what I like um in the past when I first started I was like, I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to do that technique because I felt like I had to know everything about everything in order to even just try something, but I um don't know 100% the science behind it, if that makes sense. And then the sprays, you can't see, but behind me, you could see on my YouTube channel, I have a huge wall of sprays. I typically like to use sprays in my project. So I'm going to show you actually. on last week. I can't remember what day it was, but I had a live where I did a tag celebrating 75,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And we created some tags using sprays. So I like sprays more than I like inks. Um, it's just different techniques. All right. Hello, Sandy. Loved your class as usual. I don't use my gel plate much, so wondering why you usually use your finger to press the paper down instead of the brayer. Um, I just personal preference, I think. I don't mind getting my hands inky. I actually really enjoy it. Inky fingers are happy fingers to me. So you can use your brayer if that's what you choose to use. And I actually kind of like the wonkiness of it in a way if it doesn't get 100% perfect. Hello, Pam. Nice to see you here. I feel like I have a gel I feel like I have a gel plate conditioner. Is that necessary after using the gel plates? I've never conditioned my gel plate. So, and I've had mine for quite some time. I did recently get some baby oil because I've heard that that's really good for gel plates. I'm just gonna get this out of the way real quick. I've never done it, so maybe it just depends on how much you're using it. Hi, Shannon. How do you come up with your color combos? Do you use a color wheel or do you just experiment? Experimenting, and then I also use like Pinterest for like I'll look up color combinations, and a lot of times it's um, combinations that people use for like their home or something, and then I'll just kind of pick and choose which colors I like. And I have um, several color combination guides with distress sprays. I have a new one using distress watercolor pencils and magicals. Uh, I often forget how many color combinations there are. So, and I tend to use the same ones. So I go back to my color combination guides very often. So thank you for your question. Hello, Jerry. How can you tell you have enough ink on the brayer for another pull or two? Uh, if I would say you at least have enough for one, for sure. The second one, of course, it's going to be a little bit lighter. You just kind of have to play around with whatever inks you're using. So what I would do is just lay some ink down, do one pull, brayer out that ink again, do a pull on a separate piece of paper just to kind of see how much ink you're actually getting with your particular ink because it could be different with dye inks versus pigment inks and the wide range of brand out there as well. So I hope that helps. Hi, Judy. Thank you for your question. Love your demo. Thank you. Thank you. Are all gel mats created equal? This I have no idea. And I was a little bit prepared because I have several different ones. To me, they all have worked the same. Some people swear by a certain brand. I'm not that way. This one I believe is Jelly Arts. This one too, I believe. No, this one's Gel Press, Jelly Arts. I don't have the packaging in there. But the one that I used in the demo is this one. This one was the first set I actually ever bought because it has 3 of them. So it has this little circle, then this little one here. It's kind of hard to do backwards. And then this long one. So this is the long one that I used in the presentation. And I really like this because it's a little bit more affordable. You kind of get a little bit more range of techniques you can do, and for about the cost of a large one. So you can kind of get a little bit more for that. Hello, Mindy. Can you use the sprays on the gel pad? Yes, of course. You can use pretty much anything. I've done alcohol inks. You could do sprays. You'll get more of a splotchy look with sprays. But that technique, like the smushing technique, and I kind of teach it on my YouTube channel, where if you're scared to spray your sprays, then you spray on like a non-porous surface and then smush your tag, your card base, whatever, into the spray instead of spraying directly on your paper. A gel plate would actually be really good to try that on. So yes, you can use sprays. Hello, Kinser Crafts. I hope I'm saying that right. I know your class focused on distress inks. Have you done this technique with acrylic paints? If so, any tips? If not, is there a reason? You can do gel printing with paints. I personally am not a huge fan of using paints. It's just very messy. I have to like clean my brayer too much, and it's too much in between um, my creative brain trying to like get things done. I have to wait for the paint to dry. You can definitely do more techniques and layer up more with paints, but paints aren't really my favorite to use on a gel plate. I hope that helps. Hello, Miss Jessica. All right. I'm trying to build my collection of distress inks and I want all of the colors. Where do you suggest I start my collection? Okay. I just need a little sip of water, just real quick. I'm talking really, really fast. All right. So I suggest when you're trying to figure out what colors you want, I get this question a lot with distress sprays. Look at the colors that you're already using, maybe for a different brand of inks, or maybe whatever medium you use, whether it's acrylic paint, alcohol inks, whatever colors you use most in that medium is where I would start with another medium. I hope that makes sense and I hope that helps. Hello, Pam. Kind of off topic. I commented on a video of yours today. I actually just saw that. I saw you like color burst over magicals. I have the color burst. Is there a way to add shimmer to them other than using a flat liquid metal? I don't know what flat liquid metal is, but and I haven't tried this, and I really like uh, color bursts. And thank you for reminding me that I have them. Maybe what are those called? The little circles. They're like pigment, shimmery. Hold on. Someone's probably gonna answer before I can even find them. Yeah, I can't find them. Yeah, it's like the pearl. Is it, what are they called? I don't know. I'll get back to that. Perfect pearls. There you go. Maybe if you have perfect pearls, maybe adding a little bit of shimmer. But I do find that magicals work a little bit differently, and I do like magicals a little bit more than the color burst powders. Um, but I do like the wide range of colors and how pigmented the colors are in the color burst powders. But I'll get back to you on that. Hello, Marcy. How do you store a gel plate and where do you buy them? So storing them it's really important to not store them on a porous surface. So you don't want to leave your gel plate on a stack of paper because it's going to get all of that minerals out of the gel plate. I just store them right back in the packaging and no, there we go. I store them in one of these drawers over here. And I have a couple more gel plates as well. So I like to just store them right back in the packaging. There are like metal containers that you can buy, but I don't think that that's necessary. Where do you buy them? So you can buy them from various stores in the supply list I have listed, and I checked them yesterday. I believe that at all of the stores that I have, excuse me, I have for the one that I used, which is the Ranger set. They're all in stock from yesterday. I can't say for today because sometimes things sell out, but I hope that helps. Hello, Linda, my good friend Linda. Hello. How do you clean your gel plates? I like to use um, hand sanitizer, or you can use baby wipes. I like to use a combination of both. Baby wipes are a staple in my craft room anyways. I can't speak for everybody's craft room. But I hope that helps, Linda. Can you repeat the information about the set of gel plates you showed? I'm guessing this one. Is that the right? Yeah. So this is the Ranger Dilution set. And this is the one that I used in my presentation. I really like this set because it's good for beginners, because if you have this smaller one, then the larger one. So if you were to do like a big day, like a whole day session, you can kind of brayer off some of your ink or paint onto the littler one, and then you have the little circle one. You can use them all in unison together, if that's the right word. I hope that helps. So yeah, it's Ranger, and I do have it linked in my supply list. All right. Hello, Arlene. What causes the gel plate to get a pitted surface? Oh, like the, grab one. It's air bubbles, I believe. Again, I'm not very sciencey person. I don't know the science behind everything, but I'm pretty sure. Sorry for the crackling. Yeah, like this one, you could see it right there. I believe it's air. I don't find that I mean, it kind of could give you a weird impression, but I'm not, when I do gel printing especially, I don't look for perfection. So a little wonkiness doesn't bother me. And I don't know any way to prevent that. I use mineral oil light coat to clean my gel plates with. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Hello, Renee. I have a lot of distress inks and oxides, but very few sprays. Do you get similar results if you use the smushing technique with the ink pads? Yes, you do have to do a few more layers of the ink smushing, but you can definitely get similar results. Don't go out buying a bunch of new sprays that you're probably not going to use that often. Hello, Pam again. Is microglaze only for sealing if you don't want the colors reactivated? If you're okay with that, could you leave off the microglaze? Yes, you can leave off the microglaze. Microglaze can be used for different techniques, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a resist effect, and different things like that. But it does also help highlight a lot of the depth in the backgrounds, but you don't have to have it. It's not a necessity. Hello, Loretta. Tiffany, do you have a set of videos available on YouTube that will take a beginner through this process, showing easier to more complex techniques? Mm, not necessarily. No, I do have several gel printing videos. I do have a class over on my Podia website. Um, and I do gel printing with inks, alcohol inks, and also acrylic paints, but not like a long series of videos that take you from beginner to expert. Hello, Trudy. Could you just use a silicone mat instead of a gel pad? I kind of answered that a little while ago. I don't think so. I've never tried it, but you can use the back of a large um, clear stamp. So I'm pretty sure I have a video on my YouTube channel, um, or maybe a short or something. I can't remember 100%. Hello, Loretta. Oh, alcohol inks. Can you show a sample? The prints for alcohol inks? Oh, gladly. This is one of my favorites. You can see I'm getting excited. Okay, I grabbed my bin. So I was going to mention that, whoops, if you signed up for my email list, it's very common for a lot of people just to unsubscribe, but I am going to be hosting a Zoom, probably monthly, getting um, we're going to be using backgrounds. So stay tuned for that. And you have to be on my email list to join. So let me see some of my favorites here. All right. So here are some. I don't use, and I saw this technique on YouTube. It's not my technique. I credit the person, I can't remember her name, on the video, but I don't use acrylic paint over top. And you'll have to go watch the video to figure out what I use. But that's just a little sample of gel prints with alcohol inks. They will stain your gel plate, but it does not take away from the integrity of the gel plate. Hello, I'm guessing that's Ardith. Do you listen to music when you're crafting, and what kind? If I listen to music, it's most likely worship music, but I do like to put on like crime TV in the back, or I like to rewatch Downton Abbey, um, things like that if I'm crafting. Loretta, what paper are you using with the alcohol ink? Yupo. No, not Yupo. It's just regular cardstock. Just cardstock. Nothing fancy. Is that it? Keep those questions coming. Come on. How often do you craft? Lately, not that often, to be honest. I haven't really been in the creative mood. Um, Maybe weekly. Um, yeah, not too often. I do something creative. Like today, me and my daughter are gonna be making stickers. She's been making lots of stickers and earrings and things like that to sell locally here. Um, yeah. Hello, Sandy. What do you do with all the cards you make? I put them in a bin. I can grab the bin if you just 1 second. I am wearing, oh, you can't even see them really, but I always say business on the top, party on the bottom, because I'm always in pajama pants or sweatpants, and I have a nicer shirt on top during these lives. So this is my bin of cards and tags and things. Um, yes, I am wearing pants. Not nice pants, sweatpants, but I try to send them out. It is hard for me to sometimes get rid of my cards because I love them so much. I have an attachment to my cards, but is there a difference between brayers? There is. So there is soft brayers and then there's hard brayers. What they do differently, I'm not 100% sure. I don't have very much experience with soft brayers. I typically use a hard brayer. There is different sizes of brayers. So I am always usually using at least a 6-inch brayer. And that's because if I'm doing a card front and I want all of that ink to be brayered out, using something like this, you're going to get those lines in your ink, or it's a little bit harder to get them smooth. So I usually typically use a 6-inch brayer. I do actually have a 12-inch brayer, which I didn't bring out, but it has 2 handles. Hello, Jessica. Do you bother trying to wash off the ink on your fingers? Asking for a friend. No. I mean, I'll go wash my hands to make sure I'm not going to get it on my cabinets, on my counters, especially if I'm using alcohol ink or dye inks, because I have white counters, white cabinets. As you could see, I love the color gray. So yeah, a lot of things in my house are white. Luckily, I haven't stained anything. My daughter spilled acrylic paint on my floor, but other than that, no, I don't typically try to get it off. I actually really like my inky fingers. Hello, Christine. If you don't use Yupo, does that mean you use alcohol inks without movement? No. So it's actually pretty interesting how so these are with using the gel plate. I'm guessing that's what you're referring to. And there's something that you use on the gel plate um, that helps it move. And you'll have to watch the video to figure that out. Hello, paper creations. I like to use hybrid ink to stamp. What would that be good to be used? Sorry. Would that be good to use on the gel plate too? Yes. I imagine yes. And I would play around a little bit with the paper, like I said, with mine because I'm using um, the distress inks. I used distress heavy stock paper, which I think helps make it not look so splotchy. Time to wrap up. Do we have to? No, I'm just kidding. I want to thank you all for joining today, and I hope you all have a good rest of your summit weekend. And I can't wait to see what you all create. Be sure to tag me. Check me out on YouTube, Instagram. I love to get to know everybody even more, and I will catch you all later.